Just how much force is necessary when you encounter an attack in the street as a martial artist? For that matter, just as a layperson who has no martial arts training per se, but I'm really talking about the martial artist for the most part, but this still applies to the other individuals as well. How much training you have in the martial arts, if it's extensive and if it's a devotion to training that you have, and anyone can use the term devotion loosely, but when you really know what you don't want to destroy another human being just because you are studying and or training in the martial sciences. You don't want to do that. Or I should say, you should not want to do it. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. It's unfortunate that the world can't be perfect. It is comprised of all types of people in every walk of life, every ethnicity, culture, religious belief, every dogma, and what have you. You must remember that just the pure in heart are not the only individuals that study martial arts. There are people who have the wrong intentions that study and train in the martial arts. Just like there are decent, upstanding people that own and carry handguns for self-protection. But there are people on the flip side of that are violent individuals who have ill intentions in using guns. So that's just the way it is. Martial arts is no different. So when you that are studying the martial arts, and you who are truly disciplined, and you who are truly dedicated and devoted to the martial arts, and you who are truly humble, those are the individuals that I'm really referring to right now as it relates to the amount of force used in a confrontation in the street. We must first comprehend and understand, if you will, that we never use our weapons, our physical weapons, our body, and the training that we have maliciously. We only use it when it is absolutely, positively necessary. That's hard for some people to wrap their brains around, even though it's a no-brainer. It's really common sense. You need to watch how you carry yourself as a martial artist. You don't walk around bragging about what you know and who you have beaten or who you can beat. In other words, going for bad. So let's say you're not that individual. Let's say you are a true martial artist, one who has real standards and someone who has a humble spirit. If peradventure, and God forbid, we and you are faced with an adversary who wants to do you harm, and you must defend yourself if you cannot escape the situation, either speaking to the person, trying to speak sense to them, or even walking away. If you cannot get away, and you must result in using your skill sets, only use what is necessary. It should be taught in the police department. Force for force. If you use moderate force against the person, then they should use moderate force in return. If a person uses extreme force, then you should use extreme force. Now, herein lies the rub. How do you determine what is appropriate force to use? when there's an impending attack. Oftentimes, it is your training, it's your life experience. If you've been in the martial arts for many, many years and you're a much older individual, you should know how to discern how much force to use. Why am I talking about how much force we should use in a street confrontation? It is really this simple. When you study the art of pugilism or fighting, martial science, it is not something everyone can embark upon because it involves a certain level of physical capability in that you learn how to harm, how to cripple, maim, or even kill another human being. It's really that simple. Once you realize what you possess, you should be more adamant within yourself about never using it. I know for some people in the Western world, this is difficult for them to accept because we have a certain type of Western culture and mindset of competition. I want to outdo this other individual, or I want to be better than this other individual. Ladies and gentlemen, life is not a sport. Sports lie within their own arena. Real life situations as it relates to violence is a totally different other thing, because there are consequences to using your skills against an individual if it is unwarranted. Now, so when someone is going to attack you, or if they are attacking you, use just enough force to stop the attack and walk away. If your opponent is defeated, you don't have to continue to inflict injury upon them, because then it becomes personal. It's really that simple. Because the injury that you inflict upon that individual that is unwarranted may cause you to have to stand before a court and explain yourself and possibly lose your freedom. I hope that this was of value to you. Think on these things. This is Brother Teacher. So long.